So, good morning everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all here. And today I'll be the one doing the lecture. We'll be being a medium. But before we have the lecture done by Marco Denise. And after that I'll do the initial prayer, then we could start the lecture. So.
I'm going to read a message from Our Daily Bread by Francisco Xavier by the Spirit Eymael. Thoughts. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Paul, Philippians 4:8. All of the accomplishments of mankind constitute the result of thoughts on the part of human beings. Evil and rightness, the ugly and the beautiful live it, prior to anything, in the mental thought of he who produced them, in the incessant movement of life. The gospel projects a generous route, so the mind of man may be renewed on the path to the superior spirituality, proclaiming the necessity of such a transformation toward higher spheres. It will not be by acquiring a higher intellectual level in philosophy that the disciple will initiate his efforts toward achievements of this nature. To renovate thoughts is not as simple as it may appear at first glance. It requires a great deal of renunciation and profound control of the owner's inner self. Those qualities are not easy for one to achieve without hard work and heartfelt sacrifice. It is for this reason that many workers modify verbal expressions, judging that they have reformed their thoughts. However, at the moment of the recapitulation, due to the repetition of the circumstance, the redeeming experience once again encounter analogous disturbances, because the obstacles and the shadows persist in the mind as occult phantoms. To think is to create. The reality of this creation may not come to the surface at once in the field of transitory effects, but the object formulated by the mental force live in the inner world, requiring special attention in the attempt to continuation or extinction. The message from Paul to the Philippians is of a sublime content. The disciples there were able to comprehend the profound essence and an effort to seek wherever things are true, honest, just, pure, and lovely. Cultivate then, each day shall have discovered the divine equation.
So I'm going to do the initial prayer now. So I ask everybody to close your eyes and try to feel the best feelings you could right now. Jesus, our Master, all the spiritual friends that are here today, we ask for your blessings, that we could understand a little bit more about the task of being a medium, an important mission for so many friends in the Spiritist movement here on earth. They develop a really important aspect of our doctrine, and it's really important for all of us to understand how hard and difficult it could be. It's not only a gift, it's also one way that we have to help so many discarnate friends that still need to feel our body, our material aspect, to understand a little bit more about what happened to them, what is happening to them. That we could today, sir, that everybody here, incarnate and discarnate, could understand these lessons. And this is just the beginning. That they could read and understand more and more with all the books that was psychographic by so many important mediums. Chico Xavier, Divaldo Pereira, Raul Teixeira, so many. That we could today show a little piece of their work. So be it. So I was telling, it's a really important lecture today, being a medium. And the fun aspect of this one is that I wasn't supposed to do this. Normally we do the planning for the lectures like twice a year. In January we define everything until June, and then in July we define everything until the end of the year. And I'm supposed to do the lecture in Portuguese next month, and I was already studying for that. But then it was funny because Marcio was the one to do this lecture, and he asked me twice, Denise, do you like to switch with me? Do you like to switch with me? And no, I prefer to do in Portuguese. It's a lot more comfortable for me. I don't feel too much comfort to do in English. And it was funny because at the end, I was the one asking, okay, I'll need to switch with you. Could you please switch with me? For all the work that I do in the house, I also take care of the kids, and will be a conflict. So I told, okay, I'll do it. And then I was already reading about my other subject that is also part of the doctrine, and then I start to read and try to understand a little more about being a medium. And when I was doing the lecture, I always like to say, like, I was trying to research and trying to bring, because all of us, we are mediums. We receive the influence, not only from the discarnates, but one incarnate to another. How many times we say, okay, what am I doing? This person was talking, and at the end, especially teenagers, they always try to put the blame on someone else. But mom, I was there, and he told do this, and when I didn't. Do you know? Influence is something that all of us, we suffer every day. The biggest thing here is, how could we use our potential to filter what is a good influence, what is a bad influence, and try really communicate ourselves with the good and positive thoughts, and not with the self-pity, with the ones that is not contribute for an evolution. So I start now with the etymology, right? So this word medium, they start to use on the 16th century. It originally denotes something intermediating nature or degree. It's from the Latin, and it means literally middle. So it's like intermediate. It's someone that will be doing the connection, the intermediate situations, intermediate what I do every day, right? For example, as a mother in my family, sometimes I need to be intermediate what my son needs with what my husband wants him to do. We need to try to have that dialogue. And the dialogue with is one of our toughest things here, I think, is to completely understand someone and try to make us be understandable by others. This is a real challenge. But me and medium is that. And not only this aspect, but we also know as a spiritist that me and medium, for us, has also this other level. Some people has this gift. They come with the ability to talk with the discarnate, and they bring us messages, clarifications, sometimes the consolation of hear about someone, some beloved ones that already passed away, and you could hear a few words from them, and that words really could change lives. This picture shows the Spirit Eymael and Chico Xavier in the beginning, when he started to discover his mediumship. He's the one with the book. So you see, like, he brought so many messages from the spiritual world to us. He changed so many lives. So many mothers received letters from their sons that passed away. So many persons received the blessing of hear from them, and the certainty of know that there is a life after death makes them really change themselves and sometimes change the entire family. So, but we could go back, like we know as spiritists, we know so many great mediums these days, but humankind, they always use mediums, and they always see them, this ability to talk to the dead, as some powerful thing. They look as, oh, he has this power, he could do it, he can see the future. And I'd just like to see a little bit more about this with you. Okay, so we start with the Hammurabi. The Hammurabi Code, he was already a communication of the Hammurabi with the spiritual world. And in the stone monument that they write the laws, they put there that it was right on a stele, which is a large stone monument, and placed it in a public place so that all could see it, although it thought that few were literate. Just a few could really read. So when he did the code, he put there for everybody, but just a few people was able to read at that time. And the Code of Hammurabi contains 282 laws, written by scribes on 12 tablets. A carving at the top of the stele portrays Hammurabi receiving the laws from the god Shamash. So he put the credits of the laws. It's not like Hammurabi creating the laws, but he receiving the laws from the god Shamash. So there is one of the first historical documented communications that we have. We also have Moses. Moses is so important for us, for all the Christians and all the Jewish. And he went there and he told that he talked to God. He received the testaments from God. He was talking to them. And that is not only this episode. Lots of moments in the Bible you see that Moses was doing communications. He was receiving direct orders. He was following them. Why him? He was the one prepared. Maybe he came with this mission, but he was the one listening to them. And he did everything he did for his people. Listen all these things from the spiritual world. We have Amenhotep IV. He also knew as a Akhenaten. He is one of the he is the one that created the monotheism in Egypt in the time that everyone was still a polytheist. And he received this message also from a communication. He received this communication and then he decided to implement this about only one God. Imagine when Rome, there was thousands of years after, tried to start with the monotheism was still a real big challenge. Imagine at that time. What happens that when he decided to follow that, his successors suffer because the people doesn't accept. They were not ready yet to understand the concept of only one God. They still believe in the God of sun. He still believe the powers of nature, like multiple God. And he was the one that when he received the message, and he told the people, I received the message, we should only think about one God. There's only one God. And it was a real, when he passed away, his successors struggled, and the people decided to pass the power to another family later on. We have the Oracle of Delphi. Lots of us know people at that point, they considered that the power of the Delphi, they do premonitions about the future, and it was so powerful that people doesn't do any major decisions about the city, about when go to hunt, when go to the war, anything, without consult the oracle. If the oracle say don't go now, they will not disobey. It's like law. They went there, and for many years the Delphi oracle was considered as a safe place to go and to know about the future, and people with money really give large donations to have access to them, because that they understand that they see the future, they have the power to see the future, so I need to go there. I need to pay and understand what is going to happen. And they based lots of their decisions in these premonitions in that time. We have Francis of Assisi, and one powerful missionary after Jesus is one of the powerful missionaries that came to earth to teach us about charity and so many other things. And he was the one that, if you see like his biography, he did also communications. He also did what's called as bicorporate. He was in a place and showed himself in another place. And during his history, he has a lot of his disciples seeing he's communicating with them. And he was the first one to have the stigmata. He had a communication that after he had a physical sign in his body about that communication. So was a really powerful person that had a big influence on his time. And he also talks about afterlife, about communication. It's a really powerful prayer, the one that is attributed to him. And one thing they say is, when we die, we're going to live for good. We live the eternal life when we die. So it's a really impressive thing that he brought at that time. Lots of people don't understand, but he was already talking about our multiple opportunities, reincarnation and everything. And lots of this knowledge was brought by the communications that he had. And then, besides that, we had so many other. During Paul of Tarsus, he was another one that had the communication. He saw Jesus. He listened to Jesus telling him, why are you after me? Why are you killing the ones that are sympathizing to me? And that changed his whole life in a way that he starts to be one of the most important Christians in the whole history. And during all his incarnation, he also received the influence of Stephen. There was another spirit that was in charge to help him through his mission on earth. We have, beside St. Francis of Assisi, we have St. Clare that also followed his path. And she was the one that also did so many communications. She was the first woman to really found into the Catholic Church, and I think for the women, the poor Clares, they are called, they exist until today. And we have so many. We have Joanna d'Arc. We had so many examples during our life. But for some reason, we still have the tendency to look to them as, okay, they have this special thing to see, but I don't want this for me. I don't want to be, should be really hard, you know? Imagine you are here, people say I'm crazy if I say I'm talking and I'm seeing spirit, and I'm doing this because I'm listening in spirit. Imagine how hard it was for them. You know, it not only today, like even on their time, probably if they show up to their family, because most of them were, they broke a little bit of the relationship with their family on earth because they couldn't understand them. Because imagine, I go there, like Paul of Tarsus, he went to his house, he talked to his parents, and actually only his dad, because his mother has already passed away. But when he looked his dad in his eyes, and he said, okay, you are crazy, right? But now you are better, so let's just forget about these Jesus things. And he said, no, Father, I talked to him. I felt him. People could not understand. Lots of them suffer because of all of us would like to be accepted. We know about them, but how many others had this power of communication and just try to forget about it, try to block, try to pretend nothing's happening? Let's just imagine that nothing's happening and I'm not going to do anything about it because I don't want to have it. You know, some people don't see as a gift like they did. Lots of people see that as something really bad. I don't want this for me. No way. I don't get it. It's not part of what I believe. It's not what I want to pass through. But we know that this is not about where we want to. This is a powerful gift that could allow us to help. And when we see most of their examples, especially the ones after Jesus Christ, we can see that they really try to use this gift to help the others. And when we talk about help, it's not only the incarnated ones, especially they are helping the discarnated ones. Most of our discarnated brothers and sisters, sometimes they are completely lost. They still need this contact with a medium to be able to express themselves and sometimes understand. Sometimes I remember the first time I saw that movie Ghost, that was a very powerful scene for me, when the Patrick Chase discarnate and he keeps fighting. He keeps thinking that he's alive and he keeps there trying to and he's not understanding why the guy's not feeling anything. I'm here, I'm punching him, and he's still there. And took a certain time for him to realize. In the movie it shows that, but for some spirits it could take a lot longer than that. And they keep trying to live the way they used to. They just don't understand what is going on. It's like maybe everybody else is with a problem, not me. And when they have opportunity to, the mediums give sometimes this opportunity to them to understand what is going on and what are they supposed to do from here on. And when Kardec did the Medium's book, was the second book he did in the 5 books of we call as the basic books of the Spiritism. This was the second book. And it's funny because everybody that starts to study Spiritism, they goes to Spirit's book, normally starts with the Gospel, then they go to the Spiritist book. Sometimes the Genesis is a little bit hard, but they like Heaven and Hell because it's a lot of histories. But they look at the Medium's book like, I'm not a medium, I don't need it. Because, it's too specific, I don't need it. But if you see, in the beginning of the book, when they say about the objectives of the book, it's not only about trying to develop the mediumship faculty. It's not only about that. He teaches us how could we, as everybody here is a medium, could be in an obsessive way or no, but how could we use this faculty as a powerful weapon to make us grow, to make us evolve. This is the most important objective of the Kardec's book. And an important passage on the Bible that talks about this is the Matthew, the chapter 10. When Jesus, he understands that his disciples are ready to go and spread his work, and he has 12 disciples, and he says, you are going in pairs, 2 by 2, and he says to them, heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those who have leprosy, and drive out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. This is another important thing about this faculty. When you are a medium, it's something that you receive for free. So it's really important that you give it back for free. This is a base thing for us as spiritists. So this is one of the most important roles as a medium that wants to develop this faculty in a spiritist center, is to understand that it's not for you. You are using this to help others. And it's so important to read. He shows so many cases in this book, but it's a really important lecture for all of us to understand this. And of course, we know, and it's also not a faculty that, for example, I never saw anything. I never feeling like, I remember my mom passed away, I was 7 years old. And I started new Spiritist when I was around 17, 18 years old. That's when I started to go to a Spiritist center. And I remember that, at the beginning, I was like, okay, I understand that I will only receive a message from her if I have, how could I say, the phone only rings from there to here. We cannot ring from here to there. They only send a message if they feel it's important, if you really need to receive it. And then I went there, but inside of myself, I had that thing that I deserve it. Do you know? I want it, so I deserve it. So I'm coming here, and I deserve it. And sometimes I thought, maybe I need to develop a mediumship, and I'll be able to talk to her myself. Maybe, look at this. Mom, please come here. That guy, okay, he was a good one. he broke my heart. You know, sometimes you need, you feel like, even watching her when I was 7 years old, the connection of me and her, I still feel it. Sometimes I can say that the mediumship that all of us have bring us this ability to sometimes, if you are feeling sad, we try just to sing a good song to make us feel happier. And in my case, when I feel sad, I used to think, she's around here and she doesn't want to see me sad, so I'm not going to feel sad. I don't want to be blaming about my life, about my problems. If I have a problem, I need to challenge it. I need to go there and fix it and do whatever I can. Some part of the problem belongs to me, but another part sometimes belongs to someone else. And there's nothing I can do. So I'll do everything that I can, and then I'll wait, because if it's my challenge, I'll need to learn with it. So when I start to read the medium's book for this study, that's when I understand that this faculty, we cannot just, as I thought in the beginning, oh, I want to be a medium, I want to do, no. You come with this gift. A lot of people comes with the gift of psychography, like Chico Xavier, he got like all the aspects of the mediumship. But all of us suffer this influence, and we can choose if we will connect ourselves with the good or the bad influences. If we are trying to make ourselves better, or if we are going to justify our bad behavior with the self-pity, with the, oh, poor me, oh, that always happened to me, I don't know what to do, it's not my fault, everyone is bad to me, I'm so good. And sometimes if you put yourself in a position that you can't do anything, that's when probably you're getting the same spirits that are under that radar. It's like a radio, right? You go there and you tune. Some stations are not that good, and you go and change and put to a better station. So we need to try to make ourselves, more knowledgeable about it. We know that like a few years ago, we don't have the internet. When I started to study Spiritism, I already had it. So I start to search, and it's so many things that we need to study, need to understand, and we can go after it, you know? I was refusing myself to really study a little bit more about mediumship. I started a few years ago, and then I stopped because when I was pregnant, I was still coming, but when till born, a baby, you cannot do a reading without 3 minutes interruption, at least. If you read 3 minutes, is a long time. Like doing this lecture, Till was there. And I say, come on, let's learn about mediumship. And he look at me, bah, and he runs. And then he comes back and runs. But sometimes we try to find excuses to not study this aspect and keep doing things that we feel comfortable with. Like it's so much easier to read about the gospel and all the teachings about Jesus. They're hard to put in practice, but it's good to read. But about mediumship, it's so specific that is a little bit harder. But we need trying to train our brains and ourselves that is exactly the things that take us out of our comfort zone that we need to learn. And lots of the lessons that comes through the mediumships, through the books that the psychograph is exactly to that, to make us feel, okay, you need to move, you need to change, so many aspects like Jesus. I was reading this book called Master of the Masters, and there's this passage that I thought that was very interesting. When he was trying to teach his disciples, he always did something completely different. He wasn't the one, okay, I'm going to teach you about how to be humble. To be humble, you should not proud yourself, and no. What he did, he decided, I'm going to wash your feet. There is more humble thing in that time. And I'm not talking to some feet that were clean and inside comfortable shoes. No, we are talking about feet that were walking that ways in Jerusalem at that time with that sandals. The first one, like Peter, he told, no way, you're not going to clean. And he told, if you don't let me clean your shoes, you'll not be my disciple anymore. And he washed all their feet. And for them, imagine that he is my master. Imagine today, you work in a big company and your CEO comes and let me wash your shoes. So you're kidding, no way. but that's how he teach his disciples how to be humble. You see that it's completely unbelievable. I don't know even the feeling that they could have, like my master's watch should be something that they don't understand in the beginning. But look how that was, they make them feel. It's not only about talk about how to be humble, how to be a medium. It's to make people feel how that action that you did could be something that will make them feel that thing that needs make them to start the first step to transform themselves. Okay, so I decided to do, when I was talking about this and all these so many great personalities that were medium here, I thought, okay, just a few people could have a mediumship that way, right? But all of us are mediums. We are intermediates between each other, between the incarnate and discarnate world. So what we can do to be better mediums, to be better people, to be better spiritists, what can we committed with to do it? So I put a few things for us to think a little bit and try to understand a little bit more about it. And the first thing is educate ourselves. Only Chico Xavier psychographed more than 400 books. I think I read 10, actually a little bit more, but do you imagine? Only he psychographed 400 books. And all this material is online. It's here in our library. We have so many options these days to learn. We just need to have the will to do it. Our willpower to go there, challenge ourselves and go. Today everybody is talking about the ice bucket challenge, there's all kinds of challenges these days, not only the ice bucket. But why not educate yourself challenge? Go there and learn it. I remember when I got pregnant, it was my first concern. Oh my gosh, and now, what am I going to do? I don't know anything about motherhood. I lost my mother when I was 7. I don't have like a mother. I have my aunt that helped me. I have another one. But I don't have that central figure that I knew that I could call and will help me. I felt very, okay, I'm by myself on this and I'll need to learn it. So let's start it. And then I went after. I started to read books. I started to go and try to understand what was going through. All of us, every day, are going through challenges. Could be in work when someone really can come and say things and we feel that bad energy that sometimes just reflects back, like, you know, that Jedi eye, I'm going to kill you, the power, you know, and it's really hard for us to behave ourselves since the beginning. Because sometimes sometimes it's something so simple, but because it's that person, you know, he already started. There's no good morning. It's already, are you doing this? Are you asking that? And you feel so overwhelmed, and you see yourself failing again. And you use that as an excuse, okay, I'm not perfect and everything. And that is right. None of us are perfect. We are here to learn. But to learn, we need to commit ourselves to this process. To learn, we need to go after the education. We need to go after the knowledge that is all around us. You know, sometimes it's not only the books. Sometimes we can talk to people. We can try to understand the other and look to them not like someone bad that is just trying to make your day a really bad one. No, maybe he's also having a problem in their house. Maybe it's something bad that is happening to them anyway. But we have the tendency to only see our side and don't see the other side. And when we go after this education, we open the eyes of our heart. We open our understanding. We open our ability to really try to do the right thing. Because to do the right is not supposed to do a hard thing. To do the right is not supposed to make us feel tired. Like, oh, I felt so try to do the good was so hard, and I feel so exhausted. No, it needs to come in a natural way. And you're going to build this if you start to educate yourself. Maybe it's not even in this or the next 3 lives, but you need to have this start point. You need to go after it. And it's a really important thing. Educate yourselves. Fight your addictions. You see, I was looking at this, and it's true. How many addictions do we have these days? We always see addiction as a drug addict, right? Oh, he has an alcohol problem, a tobacco problem. Yes, these are major issues. But look at this picture. You are all addicted to something. We have time to play Candy Crush Saga until stage 400. But oh, that thing that I need to go and do that for, I don't know, I'm so tired, but I'm playing my Candy Crush, I'm still on social media, I'm still, we have these addictions that sometimes I say, if they count, if in my afterlife I'll see some numbers, the numbers that I'll be watching TV show will be a large one. It's an addiction that I have. I love TV shows, and I say, okay, oh, this one is good. I'm not going to start this one. And at least this season, I'm good. I didn't start any, but I still have the other ones that I was watching before. And I say, okay, these ones I started before, so let me just finish. But it's time. It's time that we need to know how can we prioritize our time. Time these days is a really challenging thing. As a mother that goes to work, it's challenging. You go, and when you turn on the TV, it's so much easier, right? You don't need to do anything. You're just watching there, and oh, he did that, yeah, and he'll do that and that. You already know what's going on and what's going to happen, but you are there just trying to relax. But if we commit ourselves, as Emmanuel told to Chico since the beginning, discipline, discipline, discipline. And discipline is a really hard thing to have. All of us, every day, we lie to ourselves trying to find excuse not to do this. Why are you not going back to the gym? Oh, because I'll wake up at 7 and I need to organize everything, and then I leave Tio at the care, I go to work, when I come back home, I need to take care of him and wash him. When he's at bed is 8. Okay, you have before 7, you have after 8. Why don't you go to the gym? Because I need to rest. And what do you do to rest, Because if you go, let's see the other aspect. If you commit yourself to go to the gym, every day for an hour, for example, even in this routine, you know that every time you go, you are doing good for your health. You are going to produce serotonin that it makes you feel more energy to do more stuff. But you keep convincing yourself that you are too tired to start. But you know that if you start, that will make you feel better. So why are you trying to postpone something that's good for you right now? Why are you trying to lie to yourself and put excuses, You need to put yourself in first place in your life. And sometimes if you just let the laziness take control, it's a very easy way to lose ourselves. And sometimes you feel sad because you feel that you are not producing anything, and you feel like, okay, I'm too old now. I remember I have a friend, she's 29, and she was telling that she was too old to start something. It was like, you're 29, are you crazy? Are you saying to me that you're too old to start? If you think about an immortal soul, you can start any time. I did all my graduation with a gentleman of 60 years old, and when he was a teenager, that he was finished high school and start to do his graduation, his father told, no, I don't allow you to do this because we will not give you money, you need to do that. And then he did what his father asked to him. When he retired, he went back to university and did what he wanted to. And then he pursued a master's degree in biology as well. So do you see? And I always look at him. It was funny because he was the most example in our class. Everybody else was 20s, and he was there studying as hard as we did and doing as good as we do. And how could we complain about you're now, and we always try to put excuse, it's not my age, it's not proper for me. There's no way. If you want to start something, if you want to start to skate now, use the proper equipment and go for it. If it's something that is going to make you feel happy, is going to improve your health, has benefits for you, go after it. We should fight the addictions, and one of the biggest one is our problem to commit ourselves to something new that is good for us, but we'll need discipline. And discipline is a magic and powerful ability that we should develop in everybody, especially in our kids, because we are the example for them. if they see that you don't do. These days we saw so many research saying that a kid should have at least 60 minutes of activity per day. And you see, okay, you have a toddler, he's running all over the place in your house, and you think, okay, it's enough, he's running all the time, he's running 24 hours, what is 60 minutes? But doing activity is different. He needs to go outside, he needs to do sport, he needs to really do and bust that energy. And we should sit down and try to go after it and do our best, because it's really important for everybody. Sometimes you can start not doing everything at the same time, but 30 minutes a day, and then you see yourself getting better. You could improve a little bit more. Try to do baby steps, but try to change. This is the biggest aspect that we can do. Learn to be good. Some of us think that people, they born good or bad, They say in a family, oh, she had 3 kids. The oldest one is so good, and the youngest one, he's a nightmare. It's not her fault. The kid is a terror. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I raise everybody the same way, and then he comes out this way. I don't know what I did. But sometimes we need to learn how to be good. All of us have our tendencies. Sometimes we could be too jealous. Sometimes it could be envy. And sometimes it's hard to admit to ourselves because we want to blame the others. We don't want to see the mirror and understand that, okay, this is my problem and I need to learn how to get out of it. And learn to be good. We have so many examples. We could start with small things. Could be bringing a coffee to a friend that is sleeping in work instead of just look, do you see? She comes here, sleepy, and she's there doing nothing. And at the end, I need to do her work. Go there, talk to her, bring her coffee. Try to be gentle to the others. Give a smile. When I had Theo, was really important for me in this aspect because I live in a condo, and I always used to go good morning, good morning. But it's a good. I always give good morning, but in the morning I'm not the happiest person in the world, so I used to go to the elevator, good morning. But with Theo, he's a smiling baby. He always was. And he always goes to the elevator like... So it's funny because every time people look at him to say good morning, they smile back. And that's when I realized that people don't smile me back because I'm not smiling to them. And even if they don't smile me back, when I smile, I'm making myself feel better. Because I know I'm trying to pass this good energy to the other. It's baby steps. It's really baby steps. And then, since now I know lots of people in my building now, they, oh, are you okay, okay, okay. It's not that we're best friends or anything, but we have that gentle part of the day. So change words and just say, oh, you are good. Oh, nice to see you. Have a great day. That's it. And you need to try to wish this from your heart. Look them in the eye. Is another thing I learned from a person that came here to give a lecture. Julio? Yes, Carvalho? Yeah, he came here and he told that something that he does that really makes him feel, try to make others feel good is when he goes to any fast food, any restaurant, anywhere, he tries to look the person's name. And instead of say just good morning, he say like, good morning Sharon, good morning Jacqueline, good morning Marco. And I start to do this as well. And it's really another thing that people look back to you.
It works.
It works. It really works. And do what is the hard part of our day? Just to say the person's name, just to read there. You are there sometimes waiting with your credit card to pay or something, and the person's there, staying the whole day up and passing, and you look and just say, hi, thank you so much, Jacqueline. It was a really pleasure to be here with you today. Have a great day. They make them feel more valuable, A lot of people that work these days, they just feel like, oh, my job is, everybody talks about the dream job, that you need to be successful, you need to have like a CEO, you need to be the director, you need to be a VP, but it's just a few positions. Majority of people work regular jobs. They are the regular people that we see on TTC every day, and most of them, they really feel good when they see they're being appreciated. Because all the works, they are valuable, right? We need them. Everybody needs each other. When I think when we incarnate and we need to work, it's something that challenges ourselves to go and learn and do our best. And sometimes society tries to stimulate people about this concept that you need to be the better, you need to be the chief, you need to be the director, when sometimes you need to ask yourself, is really that what I want? As a mother now, for example, I don't see myself with this with a job that will demand from myself to work like 12 hours, to sometimes work from home, because it's time that I will not be able to give to Tia. It's time that I'll be committed to my work. So it's something that I don't want to myself now. And I don't know even in the future, you know. And sometimes you need to really ask yourself and see all the others around you that works, that makes your life easier, as something doing an important job. And so this is a good aspect to learn to be good. Look everybody in their eyes. Say good morning, good afternoon. Say have a good day. And mean it, really mean it. When you look in the eyes of someone, you make this energy go through. And you're trying to make them feel better. When you do it, it's a really good thing. And we have so many other powerful things. We have charity, we have food bank, we have so many other ways. Not only material ways, we have people that just want to talk. We have so many senior houses here with elderly people that sometimes have family that lives in West, lives far away, and have no one to talk. You can go, there is charity that makes people go there and talk to them. And it's a really, sometimes it's an hour a day, half an hour a day. Of course there's the commute to go and come back, but maybe if you can, it's a good way to start. Read uplifting books every day. So yeah, we have so many good books, we have bestsellers, and if you see, some of them is just like fictional histories. We have like Crepuscular, we have Hunger Games, we have, these are bestsellers, but what kind of really moral lessons are you getting to them? When I was seeing these Hunger Games, I was completely shocked about the concept. I was like, what? How do people read these days? But it's like, that's what they do. And sometimes if you have a teenager, you can try to make them, you can try to read, try to understand what's going on with their mind, but you really try to bring good lessons for it, right? So it's really good if we could choose, if we're going to read, try to read uplifting books, not only Spiritist books, I'm not talking about this, but also books that makes you feel better, with good histories, with moral achievements, you know, that could bring to you new thoughts about, oh, I never thought this way, that I could do better. You know, it's really important that you could filter everything you do. And not only books, we see every day, we have so many movies, inspirational movies, books, TV shows, songs. Song is a powerful thing. You see kids singing all kinds of lyrics today. Lyrics with a really bad context, you know, and these music, they come to the radio, they start to be a huge success, and you see everybody think like, oh, but that message, it's being disseminated. That message is something that is going to stick around and make people feel that, oh, this is okay to do it. It's not, you know, you can go, let's Friday night, I was drinking, I was drunk, everything, and next Friday I'll do it again. You know? So when you think about it, why do you need to be drinking and high and taking these and kissing that and that and that to have a good party and to have a valuable weekend? This I'm talking about more the teenage aspect, but as an adult, like we need to travel and have a good wine and this and that, but it's really where we want to, like as a moral person, what should I be prioritizing in my life is really something that we should think about it. And when we do these uplifting readings, we can make ourselves be more committed. Will help us to feel more inspired to keep in our path. Seek God through prayer. As a medium, we know this connection that we look for. Every time that we think about the good thoughts and how to achieve them, is a really challenging thing. But we know that we have this powerful, powerful, powerful weapon, that is the prayer. Every time you really do a prayer from your heart, that you really want to establish this connection, you can really make things change. Sometimes if you are in that bad day, you are stressed, you are feeling sad, nothing's make you feel better. If you try really to, okay, let's stop right now. Let's find a washroom. Washroom is good. There's no any kind of problem if you go to a washroom, if you are in the subway, where you are. If you concentrate yourself and try to connect with the good spirits that are around us, because they are here now, and they are with you when you go home. All of us, we need trying to bring this good energy with us, and they are with us when we need them, and we try to connect. They will come, but we need to ask. We also know that we have the power to do that and bring them, and not just think that, oh, they left me by myself and that happens. Oh, no, you let that happen because for some reason you wanted to. Sometimes we feel that we still need to suffer a little bit more. Sometimes we put ourselves in a position that, okay, I'm not perfect, I came to this life and I still need to suffer. And if that happens, yeah, it's because I still need to. But come on, you are choosing. You are choosing to. You need to do your better choice. Try to make yourself feel better. Joy is something that all of us should cultivate in our lives. To have this joy when we wake up and have the opportunity of another day. When we try to look to our family members, to look to our friends, our co-workers, as someone that is struggling as you are every day. Sometimes we see people that has a material condition better than you, and it's very common that we think their life is easier because they have money. And we know that's not true. But we keep trying to bring the same old thoughts to justify things. So when we seek God through prayer, that's when we are trying to make ourselves really committed to the good. Because the prayer has a power not only for yourself, it's for yourself and the beloved ones. I live here. All my family is in Brazil. And sometimes I receive calls, someone is sick, this is happening, and I feel so sad because I can't be there. I can't hug them. I can't be there for them. That's sometimes how I feel, because you want to give a kiss, you want to give a hug, you want to make them feel loved, and you feel, okay, I'm in Canada now, I just have a phone, Skype, I look at them, but they're so sad and I can't do anything from here. Yes, you can go there and do a prayer. A real powerful prayer. And really think that light of Jesus, every time I think about Jesus, I think about this light. And every time I do a real prayer and I try really to feel someone feel that I'm thinking about them, I think about this light going to them, evolving them. That this light bring the love that I feel for them. All the feelings that my heart have, that want to protect, that want to make them feel better, that want to make them feel loved, that go there and make this change. So the prayer is one of the most powerful ways, as a medium, as a spiritist, as a Catholic, as any religion, as a prayer. That's how we can connect and make ourselves and the beloved ones also feel this energy. And it's a really important thing. So this is a final message that I brought. It's from the book Seara dos Médios. There is no translation, I think, for English. I couldn't find it. I don't know. Seara could be house of work of mediums. Huh? Seara? Yeah, field. Field of mediums. So this is a message from Emmanuel, and it's a really beautiful one. And say, Jesus aggrandized himself in the wake of the centuries through the power of the example. Angel walked among men. Lord of the world did not retain a stone to lay his head. Wise was simple. Great line up among small. Judge of judges spread mercy. Malignant launched blessings. Betrayed did not complain. accused, humbled himself, wounded, forgot all offense, offended, silenced himself, crucified, asked for forgiveness to his own executioners, abandoned, returned to help. So if you see just these things, basic things, right? It's the path that he left here for all of us. If we could understand the real meaning of these words and try to put it just a little in our lives, we see that this is the real way to the true happiness. There is our spiritual life. So it was a pleasure to be here today. Sorry for my English, I know I did a little bit mistakes, but as a mama brain, I'm still trying to, and all the content for this I read in Portuguese, so I tried to translate before, but I was getting overwhelmed. Okay, I'll read in Portuguese in there. I'll try to do my best. So thank you so much for all of you to be here. Everybody that is watching us online, it was a pleasure to be here. And then everybody else here.
Just in case anyone have any question to you, not to me, come back to your
I will
place.
show the Spiritist book, so I should read this book.
All right, so any questions to Denise? Any comment? Anyone want to add anything?
Everybody's already doing the charity aspect of the thing, you know.
I think what's important about election is that we all need it, and that's true. And we have to remember that being a medium, like you said, is just being an intermediate.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily need to be an intermediate, because once you think about me, I always think about the intermediate between the discarnated world and the incarnated world. And you can be a medium inside the incarnated world.
No, yeah,
So
incarnate to
every
incarnate.
time we leave here and we start to show with our actions what we learn here, we're being a medium to the lessons that we learned here. So we're spreading our knowledge either to what we tell people or either to our own actions. So being a medium of the gospel. Because if you learn here the gospel and then I go out there and I practice, I'm being a medium of the gospel to all the people who are around me. And then it goes to the point where you said it's extremely important is educate yourself. Because if I do not know the gospel, I'll never be a medium of the gospel. But if I study and I learn, better chance of me being each time a better medium of the gospel out there. So, and that's why, because that's what I said to people, I'm not a medium, so I don't need to learn about this.
Yeah,
No,
we all need to.
We all need this, regardless, right? And I can be a good medium where I'm spreading good things, or I can be a bad medium where I'm not spreading good things, right? So that's where the education is extremely important, so we all can become very, very good mediums out there.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't need to receive a communication for this connect to be a medium.
Yeah, for sure.
And be inspired, right? We are inspired all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's for that inspiration that we become a medium. So, yeah. What else? No questions? Comments? You have a question?
I was just wanting to say that it was a lovely presentation. Your English is very, very clear and very easy to understand.
Thank you.
And the content certainly is very important. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so thank you very much, Denise, again. And let's get prepared.